I'm Monique Muro and you're watching On the Plus Side. The plus side is situations you may think are bad, but are actually really not. This episode, I wanted to talk about the plus side of fear. Because fear can be absolutely crippling, but it's also a good thing because after you conquer that fear, there's always like a ton of positive things that come out of it. If you're afraid of public speaking, for instance, you do the public speaking, you're horrified throughout the entire thing, but afterward, you get applause, you get notoriety, you get to put a little button on your website that says, book me to speak, but while you're walking up to that podium, it's really hard to muster up the strength to think about those future awesome things because all you see are lights coming down on you and people waiting for you to speak. So I thought it'd be cool to talk about the plus side of fear when you're right in the middle of it, when you're experiencing it in its full strength. The first plus side to fear, in my opinion, is taking a step back and thinking about what's physically going on in your body when you're afraid. Kind of thinking about the biochemistry of it all and how each of us experiences fear really similarly. We each have this fight or flight response going on. Our heart rate goes up, we start sweating, we start shaking. It's kind of cool how we're all connected with the same thing. We don't have the same fear, but we're all responding to it the same way. And for some reason, when I think about that, it almost calms me down a little bit because I feel like my body is reacting to a thought that I'm having. A fearful thought. And I've always found that kind of cool. The second thing I like to think of when I'm afraid is that fear is kind of like a protector. So last December, I got in a bad accident on the freeway. And after I got out of that accident, I was like, I ain't driving ever again. I'm not driving on the freeway. I don't even want to be in a car on the freeway. I don't even want to drive surface streets. It was bad and it was a little traumatizing. I started realizing that my fear was only trying to prevent me from getting into another accident. It was only looking at the situation and thinking, you were driving when you got in this accident and we're just gonna make it so you don't drive anymore because then you won't get in any more accidents. But when you look at your fear as something that's just trying to protect you from harm, it's kind of cute. It's kind of oh, it's just trying to protect me. It's like a guardian angel, it just doesn't want me to get hurt. So you should sort of maybe befriend it a little bit and be like, hey, hey fear, we can do this together. Yay. So the third plus side to fear that I like to think about when I'm afraid is that it's all in your head. Now, definitely situations happen to us all the time that are very real. We have very real things happen to us that are really scary. But a lot of times we make those scary things worse by thinking about all these different scenarios that could also happen. Say, for instance, you just saw a really scary movie and you come home to your dark apartment and you're feeling for the light switch and you're ah. You're just scared of that villain being in the apartment. You're not even scared of what happened in the movie. You're scared of that villain being there with you, attacking you, and you start thinking about all these different situations and they're actually not even real. You're thinking about these things that have not even ever happened and probably won't ever happen. It's like there's a bunch of little people in your head that are just trying to work you up and trying to make you afraid. But you can always just shut them off. You don't have to listen to them. You don't have to listen to the crazy people in your head trying to tell you to be afraid of all these little different things. So those are three plus sides that I like to think about when I'm right in the middle of fear. Another thing I also like to think about is just happy thoughts. We've all been happy at some point in our lives. I try and just snatch whatever happy thought I can and insert it into whatever fearful situation that I'm in to make myself just feel a little bit better. I always try and picture myself I don't know, at a Dodger game or something with big Dodger dog when I get really afraid. That being said, I hope some of this stuff helps out you guys when you're afraid, and I'll see you on the plus side next time. So don't forget to check out our last episode of On the Plus Side, where I talk about the plus side of Mondays. Also, definitely check out our episode of Most Important Thing on earthquakes. Very hysterical and informative stuff. And subscribe for more videos like this one.